guys, I hope you're doing well. My name is Quinn and welcome to my channel and another episode of Cheap versus Expensive, a series where I compare two of the same products at different price ranges and let you know my thoughts and opinions regarding each product. So this week I am reviewing foundations. So on the low end we have the cheapest foundation I was able to find, which is the Covergirl Clean Sensitive Foundation. And for the high end we have the most expensive foundation that I've ever spent my own money on, and that is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I'm just kind of doing this as kind of like an experiment to show you side by side the difference between two products that are in different price ranges, and just to see if the price actually matters for a particular product. So the Covergirl Clean Sensitive Foundation I got for, I want to say like $4.50, and the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation is $64. So they are definitely very, very different in price. Now both of these foundations, however, are supposed to be lightweight, medium coverage foundations. From what I was able to find online, the Covergirl Clean Sensitive Foundation comes in 6 to 9 shades. It differed because when I went to the Covergirl website, they said 6 shades were available, however, they were all sold out. And when I went on Walmart, they claimed that 9 shades were available. The Giorgio Armani foundation, however, comes with 30 or more shades. On their website, I counted 31 shades. So the description for the Armani foundation says that it is inspired by charmeuse silk, the fabric of emperors. This luminous foundation glides on weightlessly for a flawless lit from within glow. It uses exclusive microfill technology to sculpt and brighten, and it's also a buildable medium coverage foundation that improves texture and blurs imperfections. And the description for the Covergirl foundation states that sensitive skin dreams of a foundation this light and delicate. Covergirl's clean sensitive skin foundation's unscented oil-free formula smooths redness and moisturizes flaky sensitive skin without irritating skin or clogging pores. Now I actually have separate reviews for each one of these foundations that I posted earlier this week. So if you're interested in either one of these and just want to see a more in-depth review of either one, be sure to check out those videos. I got the Covergirl Clean Sensitive Foundation in shade 525, which is buff beige, and I got the Armani foundation in shade 5.25. What's funny is the Covergirl foundation is actually a bit too light for my skin, and the Armani foundation is a tad too dark for my skin. So I think this side-by-side comparison is going to look very interesting. Alright, so I currently don't have any foundation on my face. I do have a little bit of moisturizer and some eye makeup, but that's pretty much it. So I actually like to apply my foundation with a foundation brush normally. However, I didn't want the products to be contaminated on this one brush since I only have this one foundation brush. So I figured applying it with 2 separate beauty blenders will probably be a little bit better. On the right side of my face, I'm going to be applying the Giorgio Armani foundation, and on the left side of my face, I'm going to be applying the Covergirl Clean Sensitive Foundation. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with the Covergirl foundation on the left side of my face first. Right off the bat, I do want to mention the packaging for the Covergirl Clean Sensitive Foundation. It comes in this glass bottle with this plastic cap on it, so there's no pump or applicator that comes with this bottle, so it kind of makes getting the product out a little bit more difficult. For the Luminous Silk Foundation, it also comes in a glass jar. With this one though, there is a really, really sleek pump, and this pump is amazing, and it keeps it really nice and clean and sanitary because you're not double dipping, you're not contaminating the product as you would with something like this. Alright, so I'm going to just dab dots all over my face for the foundation and then mix it in with the beauty blender. Now I'm going to repeat the same thing on the right side of my face using the Giorgio Armani foundation. So here is what the two foundations look like with the first layer. I feel like the Giorgio Armani covered a little bit better than the Covergirl did. Covergirl, you can see my nose is a lot more red than the Giorgio Armani. Texture and feel, they're both very, very similar. They're both lightweight. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and build on to this layer and see if I can get a better coverage out of both of these foundations. I really want to concentrate on my nose, or like the base of my nose, because that's my problem area. Okay, so here is what the two foundations look like with 2 layers of foundation on. Here's a closer look with my nose. Again, this is Giorgio Armani. You can still see a little bit of redness from my broken capillaries at the base of my nose. And here is the Covergirl side. I feel like the broken capillaries and like red pigmentation in my skin is a little bit more noticeable with this side. It looks like this is a little bit better coverage. This one looks a lot more sheer. You know, of course it is a little bit lighter too because the foundation is lighter. So I think I'm going to apply a third layer of the Covergirl onto my face just to see if I can match the coverage on this side with this. So here is what 3 layers of the Covergirl foundation and 2 layers of the Giorgio Armani looks like. That third layer did help cover the redness on the base of my nose a little bit better, but it also washed me out a lot. I'm gonna give it a couple minutes to kind of oxidize and kind of dry up. But in the meantime, I'm gonna do a side-by-side comparison of each product. You guys can see like the shades are so different. So I apologize for getting the wrong shades in these guys. It feels like the Covergirl foundation is slightly thicker than the Giorgio Armani foundation. So just feeling the foundation side by side with my fingers, I do notice that the Giorgio Armani foundation almost kind of has like a primer feel to it, like a very silky feel. And then the Covergirl side, it is just slightly tacky. And I think that's why my face kind of feels a little bit more like taut. It's not necessarily dry, but it just feels like my skin is like tighter than with this side. Even with 3 layers of the Covergirl foundation on this side, it still looks a lot more sheer than the 2 layers of foundation with the Giorgio Armani. There's still a lot more redness that's peeking through on the Covergirl side. The Luminous Silk looks like there's better coverage. It looks a little bit more luminous. This one looks more dewy than luminous, almost kind of like if I had a highlighter on this side. You know, this one is $64, and with a product like this, they're normally sold in like high-end department stores or specialty like beauty stores such as Sephora. And in those stores, you actually have the option to sample these and to test these before you buy. And with a drugstore foundation such as this one, you know, you go into, you know, just any drugstore or grocery store, all of their foundations are on the shelves and they don't have any testers or samplers for you to actually be able to open and test against your skin. So I feel like in that aspect, it's almost kind of like hit or miss. You kind of just have to go in blindly and try to pick your color based off of the bottle. For that reason is why like this one came in so much lighter than my skin color, just because I didn't have the option to really try it against my skin. And I think with Giorgio Armani, even if you get a shade that doesn't match your skin color, they have some sort of like guarantee that you can like exchange your foundation for like the right shade. So you're almost guaranteed to find the right match for you. And also with department stores and specialty beauty stores such as like Sephora or Ulta, you can actually go in and ask for a sample of this and go home, try it out before you actually make the purchase. So that's also another thing to consider with these. But overall, I do like the look of both foundations so far. I think they both look really good. The main difference that I'm able to see is that the Giorgio Armani foundation has better coverage than the Covergirl foundation. It also has a better feel on the face, but it's so slight that like I don't think you would really notice a difference. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and apply the rest of my makeup, which includes under eye concealer, setting powder, contour, and blush. And then I'll be right back to show you guys what that looks like. So here are what the 2 foundations look like with full makeup on. I can tell that this side is lighter, but that's only because it is a lighter color. As I mentioned before, this side has a little bit more coverage, but you can only tell that if you like zoom in really closely to see. You know, like right here, you can still see the red pigmentation, and here it's not as bad, but from far away, it's really not that noticeable. So I'll come back here in a few hours, I'll check in with you guys, let you know how each side wears, and give you my opinion here in just a little bit. Alright, so it's been about 5 hours since I initially put on my makeup, and here is what both sides look like. To be honest, considering one is one shade darker than my skin tone and the other one is one shade lighter than my skin tone, they both kind of worked pretty well together. You wouldn't be able to tell that my makeup didn't match if you're just looking at me. The only difference I can really see, and maybe the camera isn't picking this up, but the side with the Luminous Silk foundation is just a tad bit more, you know, luminous. It has a little bit more of like a glow to it, whereas the Covergirl side is a little bit more dull. So it's funny because I actually posted a poll on my Instagram stories today to see, you know, if people can guess which side is the more expensive side, and it actually started off, a lot of people were guessing the Covergirl side was the more expensive side. Now the Luminous Silk side has a few more votes, but it's very close to being like tied at this point. So with a $60 difference and half of the people can't tell which side is the more expensive side, I feel like, you know, it says a lot about these two foundations because I'm able to see this in person. I do notice that the Luminous Silk side is just slightly better. It has like a better finish to it, and I prefer the Luminous Silk side. But if I wasn't seeing these side by side, I wouldn't even really be able to tell. And considering that this is the cheapest foundation I was able to find, it kind of makes me wonder like what other foundations are out there that is more affordable and will probably be better than this. And if that's the case, how it's gonna compare to this, because this one is already really similar and a really close match to this already. So yeah, I'm honestly so surprised. I always thought that, you know, a foundation is good to invest in, but maybe not. If this were summer, I don't know if, you know, the results would be a little bit different since I would be more oily. So that's also another thing to consider. Right now, both sides held up pretty well. I have no creases, no lines in my foundation whatsoever. I mean, if I'm going to nitpick, this side definitely has better coverage. It's a lot more clear. It's a lot smoother than this side. This side, you can see a lot of flaws, imperfections right in here. But again, it is just so slight that I don't know if it's worth the $60 difference to get this over this. To be honest, guys, I did not think would be the case at all. I thought this one would be a clear winner. I thought that it would be like night and day, and honestly, that's not the case at all. I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you guys like the Giorgio Armani side better, or do you guys like the Covergirl Clean Sensitive side better? Let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are, and if you guys have a favorite foundation either on the affordable side or the luxury side, just let me know in the comment section below. That way I can try it out for myself. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video in comparison. Please give this video a like if you guys enjoyed it, and if you haven't done so already, be sure to click on that subscribe button right there so you can see more videos like this. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye!